In today's video, we're going to be talking about the brand new iPhone XR, everything that you need to know. So at today's event, Apple introduced basically the return of the iPhone 5C, the iPhone XR. So basically this is a lower end iPhone X experience that still offers a pretty decent amount of performance as well as some interesting unique features. Now if the success of the iPhone 5C is anything to go by, then I think the iPhone XR is going to be quite a hit, especially since it offers a lot of the things that we all like about the iPhone X at a lower and less unreasonable price. So to start, you are going to have to give up a few things if you buy an iPhone XR. So the first is going to be the construction. We're back down to 7000 series aluminum, as Johnny Ive would say, rather than using the stainless steel that you'll find in the iPhone XS and XS Max. Additionally, we're going to sacrifice some of those thin bezels, and we're also going to miss out on an OLED display, as this one uses a standard liquid crystal display. Well, I say standard, but they actually call this a liquid retina display because apparently it's really advanced and it took a lot of anti-aliasing to get LEDs in that shape. So, I don't know how much of that I'm buying into, but it should still be a very nice display. Now, size-wise, this is going to fit right in between the XS and XS Max, and also kind of right in between the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. So the big selling point for this phone is you're getting a larger than plus size display at 6.1 inches on a smaller than plus size form factor. So that's all well and good, but I do think there should be some sort of a budget option that isn't quite as big, because the iPhone XS is going to be smaller than the XR, which a lot of people are going to like. But it's also pretty significantly more expensive than the XR. So a real budget phone should also have a smaller option for people who don't really buy into the gigantic phone thing. So I think that's kind of the biggest hard sell of this phone, is it might be a little too big to be really truly mass market, and I think a lot of people are going to still be buying an iPhone 8. Now the other thing that you're going to sacrifice is some of that water resistance. We're talking IP67 instead of 68. So it probably won't make too much of a difference as far as what you can tell, but the iPhone XS, which has IP68, is definitely going to be more water resistant and can allow a little bit more leeway when it comes to getting the thing wet. Now, one of the things that you're not giving up is the Face ID system that we're bringing over directly from the iPhone XS. It's the exact same system, and the design really looks quite similar to the iPhone XS. And you could also argue that in some respects, it is maybe a little more hip, because we do have all sorts of new color options. There's black, white, red, blue, yellow, and coral options available. Sounds familiar? That's probably because it is familiar, minus the green from the iPhone 5C. Now, one of the interesting trade-offs is this device does not have 3D touch, but it does have what they're calling haptic feedback, which is essentially the same system that you'll find on a MacBook trackpad. So it's going to be similar, but maybe not quite as useful as 3D touch. Now, obviously, I don't have the phone on hand, so I can't speak to that, so we'll have to wait and see how that works out. But there are a few areas where you don't have to make any compromises going for the iPhone XR, and that is in the performance. The A12 chip is exactly the same that you'll find on the iPhone XS. So that's really great that they're bringing that performance in at a lower price point, and you're also going to feature that same exact Face ID system that you'll get on all the other iPhones that were announced. Now, one of the other advancements that comes with the trade-off of having only a single lens camera instead of having dual cameras on the iPhone XS, Apple did actually bring portrait mode down to that single lens camera. It uses the neural engine that's built into the A12 Bionic chip to intelligently figure out what needs to be blurred and what doesn't. So that allows you to get the depth effect and the really cool portrait mode photographs without needing the dual camera system. And except for the fact that there's only one of them, it's still going to be a 12 megapixel really great camera on this phone, as well as the 7 megapixel front-facing camera with true depth technology. So the storage tiers are 64, 128, and 256, and prices start at $749. Although interestingly, stepping up from the 64 to the 128 only costs an extra $50, coming in at $800, which is interesting because historically the storage tiers have bumped the price up by about $100, so it's good to see that coming down a little bit. And to be perfectly honest, this phone is actually pretty well priced in my opinion. Anyway, that's what I think is the most important information about the iPhone XR. Let me know in the comments below what you think was the most interesting or the most compelling, and also let me know what iPhone you think you're gonna buy if you're planning on getting one of these new ones. But as usual, make sure to leave a like down below, don't forget to subscribe, follow me on Twitter at LukeMiani, and don't forget to join my subreddit. And also make sure you check out the other videos that I have on the Apple Watch Series 4 and the iPhone XS, so you can really know what's going on in the world of Apple. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video.